Welcome to the Anchor Your Retirement podcast. I am your host, Barbara Gullen, hanging out with my buddy and pal who has an awesome podcast of his own that we're going to talk about,
Oh,
Tony
yeah.
Shore. And
Yeah. You've got a Christmas hat. I didn't wear anything
yes,
Christmassy. We're kind of in the spirit here. We're in
but you have the
December.
most amazing little Christmas gnome for those of you that are
I have
watching
a
on video.
light up Christmas gnome that
Yes.
throws the lighting of our camera off if I get it too close. I just noticed that. It's like, oh, okay. But yes, he's going to be our little mascot. He's excited.
I love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'll,
love
I'll
him.
have to come up with a name for our Christmas gnome.
Okay, but before we talk about football and the amazing luck that the Chiefs have with winning,
Yeah.
and last night's game with Detroit and the Packers that was closer than it needed to be.
Oh, wow. Can you believe how well the Packers played? I couldn't believe that. I
Well,
thought it
and can
wouldn't
you
be close.
believe that the Lions decided to go for it on 4th and 1 deep in their own territory?
That's weird.
Yes.
Yeah. That was probably a big mistake, but
Yes.
I'm going to call him Mitch. Looks like he looks like he's a little crabby, doesn't want to deal with people today, this little Christmas gnome. And that's our producer, and
I was
our
going to say,
editor's name is Mitch.
and Mitch, for the record, Tony said that I did not be kind in your editing.
But you're right. I mean, the football has been crazy. Did you happen to see? Now, it's been about a week ago, the Sunday night game from about a week ago, the Buffalo Bills
The Snow
in the
Bowl.
snow. And did you see when they scored, everyone in the stands threw up snow and it went way
I
up and
saw
snowballs, and it looked like fireworks except with snow all around the stadium.
I mean, it was so cool.
And the players sliding into the end, running and sliding on their bellies across the field, and then doing snow angels in the end zone.
Yes, they all are just big kids at heart, aren't they?
They are. Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. But
Yes.
the Chiefs continue to defy the odds, and somehow, I don't know. I'm a little worried for the Chiefs
I
because it's
love
been
my
luck.
Chiefs. We could clinch the division this Sunday night.
Oh,
This
yeah.
podcast will be airing after that game. But I mean, my boys are using a whole lot of their lives.
Yes, they are. They're using up the 9 lives luck.
Yes.
Hopefully they don't use it up before they make it to the Super Bowl. And the Vikings are struggling. We're in the toughest division in the league. I mean, look at the Detroit Lions and the Packers and us. I mean,
it's been crazy.
In the overall power rankings of all NFL teams, though, we are 5th.
They're up there.
Yeah, we're in the top 5 still. So
now we do know that even though Sunday night is being played at Arrowhead, there will not be a certain super fan there because she will be closing out the final night of her Eras tour.
Really? She's still on that thing?
Sunday night is the final night. It's closing night.
How many years? 2 years?
Close to 2 years, yeah.
Oh, she's got to be spent and burnt out. I would think.
I would think that with the show she puts on
2 years, that's got to take a toll. You can't tour that much. That's insane. She'll burn out.
She took good breaks in between.
So that's true. She's been taking some pretty good breaks. Yeah, that's true.
But all right, segueing that into your podcast, the Pop podcast.
The Obvious Pop. Yep, it's easy to find, obviouspop.com. And you can listen to I play new and interesting music that you probably have never heard. It's like a radio show more than a podcast. I play more music than I do talking, but I have fun. I find little samples to play, like we do on the show here sometimes.
You find some really cool music.
Yeah, it is interesting. If you like to be turned on to new bands that you've never heard or songs that you may have missed, that's what this podcast is all about. Obviouspop.com. Check it out.
Please, because you had some really, really good music on there the last time I listened, which was recently. So
yes, just had a new episode come out, and I'll probably post my Christmas episode again here coming up. So of my favorite Christmas songs. So.
You have a Christmas episode?
I do, and I'm going to replay it. I'm going to post it again. So
I have the perfect sweatshirt to wear for next week's podcast now.
Oh, good. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. Well, we're headed into an interesting time of year. I
We
mean,
are.
financially, it can be stressful for some. And we all know the holidays, Barb, can be stressful, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Hallelujah! Where's the Tylenol?
A little
Truth.
Chevy Chase.
Truth.
Christmas
right there.
vacation. Yeah. Truth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, did you get your tree up? Are you
Yes.
decorated?
Oh, yeah.
Are you
Yep.
decorated?
Yep. I got my lights up in November the week before Thanksgiving. My outside lights were up.
That's
And then we
impressive.
just decorated after Thanksgiving the inside. My wife and daughter did that.
Mhm.
We have to put our tree outside on our deck that's off our second floor
Mhm.
because we can't have nice things in the house because we have 3 cats
'Cause
and
you
a
have
dog.
cats. Yeah.
Yeah, when you have cats, you can't. I don't know how people have trees inside with cats because our cats go crazy and
My boyfriend's cat leaves the tree alone.
really,
He does.
we've never had a cat, and we've always had cats, but we've never had one that would leave the tree alone ever.
And my cat likes to sit under the tree when I put it up. I didn't put it up last year. I don't know if I'm gonna put it up this year because I have a dog that likes to eat ornaments.
Yeah, that's not good. Our dog is actually pretty good about leaving the tree alone. If you scold our dog a couple of times or say no, our dog is pretty well behaved and will
Mhm.
back off and usually leave it alone. But the cats, of course, there's
Of course.
nothing you can do.
No.
They will try to climb up in it, knock it over, knock off the ornaments, eat any. You can't use tinsel or anything fine, or they'll try to
Mm.
eat it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But did you have a good Thanksgiving? We have not done a podcast since.
That's
It's
true.
been a
I had a
couple weeks since
great
I've seen
I had
you.
a great Thanksgiving, and over that 4-day period, we had 3 Thanksgiving meals. One with my wife's side, one with my side, and then one with just us and our kids and their significant others. So basically, in a 4-day period, Barb, I ate my own weight in mashed potatoes. Is that
I believe that. I believe that. We did things a little differently this year. I did Thanksgiving breakfast with my daughter and her husband.
Oh, fun. That's
Yep.
now that I like because I like breakfast.
I made Swedish pancakes from scratch.
Oh, I bet those were good.
They were. And then I had my Thanksgiving dinner with my boyfriend and his family, with his kids and their spouses,
Sure.
which was a blast. They actually brought an extra game controller for me to play Nintendo Switch with them.
Oh, no. How did that go?
I declined. I
Oh, what?
observed.
Wait.
I observed.
Barb, come on.
I will
Now,
next time.
you need to participate. I mean, you're gonna be embarrassed and you'll be terrible, but you should
Yeah.
participate.
Well, I was watching them play Mario Kart, and I'm like, does it annoy anybody else that you get to go like 3 spaces and then it's somebody else's turn? I mean, I'm like, that would just, I'm not patient enough.
Yeah,
Give
my
me
kids
Space
always wrote me into
Invaders, give me
yeah.
Pac-Man, you know.
My kids both my kids, 2 of the 3 have a Switch, and they hook it up to the TV every holiday,
Mhm.
and I always have to play Mario Kart with them so they can feel good about themselves because they just
Exactly.
destroy Dad in Mario Kart.
Exactly. I'm trying to think, I didn't tell you the go-kart story. I'll have to save that for another time because we really need
We're
to get
8
into
minutes into the show.
yeah, and we need to get into today's topic.
Sure.
Everybody is going like, "When are they talking about money?"
Yeah. And you've got a good one. Reflections on the financial year, lessons learned. What
Yeah,
what
'cause
what have we learned?
what a year it has been. Remember this time last year, all of the experts, and I would be putting up air quotes, but I'm just tired of it, said that we're gonna have 7 interest rate cuts this year?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year they said 7. We had 2.
We've had 2, and I don't know that we're gonna get a 3rd in a couple of weeks here.
It's looking iffy right now. It
It
was looking
is.
strong, but now it's looking iffy because the
It is.
economy's doing so good,
And
or
inflation
better
is
anyway.
picking up a tiny bit again.
Yeah.
And, we have another bout of avian flu, which I just ordered eggs to cook for the men's breakfast at my church tomorrow, and it was $19 for 5 dozen eggs. Yes, you've muted yourself, I think, accidentally.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, it's just exciting. Mitch wanted to weigh in.
Mitch wanted to weigh in on that
Our
one. I get it.
our producer and editor, Mitch.
Follow the bouncing ball with, wasn't it Mitch? The bouncing ball where you could sing along with?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
again,
the Fed, so you're right. I mean, inflation's ticked up a little bit. I don't think they need to do anything to tamper or I don't think they need to do anything during this season because spending is up.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Anyway.
Despite that, retailers are concerned about a weaker holiday showing because
Really?
Thanksgiving was so late.
Mm.
But there are a lot of people that started shopping early, present company included.
Yeah. My wife and I too.
So, I think that we'll see good retail numbers come in. I think the jobs market is probably a little less stable than the overall market wants to believe. I think that hiring is slowing down a little bit. That's just my opinion for what I've seen in the world around me and
Sure.
with people who are trying to get jobs. But, you can just experts, you can never predict the market. And somebody that tells you that they know how to time the market or predict it is really just trying to sell you something. I mean, we've had a tremendous run up in Bitcoin because a few key people have said things publicly that, in my opinion, shouldn't have been said.
Yeah, that's still a risky proposition.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. And I mean, 2 years ago, wasn't it? Bitcoin was down to like 19,000 and it just crossed the $100,000 mark.
Yeah, and people are like, "Wow, I should have invested." Yeah, but can you get your money? I mean, the problem is
Right.
accessing money. There's been a lot of problems with cryptocurrency, and a lot of
Yes.
companies have gone under. People have lost millions and millions of dollars.
Yes, despite
But
the fact that this is the hot trend, it is not regulated.
nope, at all.
And it was, I had a sweet, sweet client come up to me the other day and tell me that she had been reading something about investing in it. And I'm like, sweetheart, no, just no.
You got to wait until the SEC and the regulators get involved, and I think we're going to have less regulation for a while rather than more, maybe in the cryptocurrency world. But I still worry about it. And I know people who have like, "Oh, I made this much money," and I go, "Oh, did you cash out? Did you get that money then?" And they're like, "No," and I go, "Well, then you
haven't made the money yet."
I go, "Do you have access to that money? How easy is it to get, and is it guaranteed? If you say you've got a couple $100,000 in cryptocurrency, can you get at it?" And that's what concerns me. But I mean, some people say yes, but now that it's high. Now that it's hit record highs is not the time to get in either. Right?
I would agree
the stock
with
market.
That 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's just all kind of crazy to think about. And this is something that is not regulated. Let's think about the segments of the population that are going to gravitate toward an unregulated method of currency exchange.
Well, it's a matter of fact.
And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, you can read. You can read the Wall Street Journal or the Washington Post, whatever newspaper you read. You can find articles about how it's used for money laundering and criminal organizations. It's very popular for money laundering and criminal organizations and activities. So, yeah.
But let's go on to the second point that I have. That is that the only constant in the financial market is change.
Good point.
And that little disclaimer that we throw in front of everybody when we're talking about the performance of an investment, that past performance is no indicator of future results. This year was a textbook example for that. The market did not behave the way it should behave when we cut interest rates.
Right.
The market has not been behaving the way it has in the past when fundamental news is disseminated to the public. In fact, it's almost been categorically the opposite.
Yeah, we've hit record highs in the market and had a pretty strong year.
We
Yeah.
have. And, for some of my clients who are in those fixed indexed annuities that have a monthly point to point crediting strategy, they made phenomenal money this last year.
Yeah.
But I have to remind them that they're not going to make that every year. And that, we have had 2 very strong market years back to back.
Yeah. Very strong.
And the likelihood of us having a third one that is equally as strong is very, very low, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. It is. I think, Michael Binger, the president of Great End Investments, I heard him speak yesterday. And he said that, he's trying to tamper expectations the way it sounds. He's hedging a little bit. But he said he believes it'll still be an up year, but there at some point there has to be corrections when things are
Yes.
like Nvidia is, through the roof. There's got to be some things may be overvalued, like Apple or Nvidia. So people say that, and we're not making individual stock recommendations on the
Not
show.
even close to that.
Yeah, we're just talking about overall what's happened in the past year and what certain talking heads are saying about next year. But to get specific advice for yourself personally, you need to pick up the phone and give Barb and her team a call so they can look at your situation, because you don't want to make any financial moves or investments or buy or sell stocks without having a fiduciary on your side who's looking out for your best interest. And Barb, I know you can pick up the phone. I mean, they're managing almost $7 billion in assets at Gradient Investments, and you can pick up the phone and call the president and get him on the line and talk to him. And I mean, not many financial advisors can call the president of the investment
money
firm,
manager,
of the money managers, and talk to them. So,
and I agree with Mike that we will probably have an up year next year, but it's not going to be
like the
a
last 2
20.
years.
We
No.
aren't going to have another year. I would be shocked if we had another year where the S&P was up over 20% again.
Yeah, like it has been this year. So,
and last year.
Yeah.
So, we need to look at this from a pragmatic standpoint. Again, it's like that client coming up to me and asking me about crypto. They're looking at the headlines and
they're reacting.
They are reacting, and they're reacting with emotion.
Yep.
Emotion is your worst enemy when it comes to this.
Yeah.
In my federal benefits presentation, we have a slide in there where JP Morgan does a study of the average investment performance over a 20-year period. And from 2001 through 2020, the highest was REITs, real estate investment trusts, at north of 11%. The S&P averaged over that 20-year, people, 9.5%. So the growth has been very uncharacteristic. Cash came in at a whopping 1.2% because interest rates were so low for that time period. But the average investor came in at 3.6%.
Huh, interesting.
Because they trade on their emotion.
Yep. It's like the Oracle of Omaha. Warren Buffett said, people end up buying high and selling low. Right. And the majority of investors do that because they're using emotions. When people hear, like right now would be the worst time to buy Nvidia stock or Bitcoin, probably for most people, because it's at record highs. The time to buy it was in 2022 when Nvidia was down 20%, right?
Yeah, or even to buy Nvidia right after it split.
Yes.
Would have been a good time to buy.
Yes.
But again, my crystal ball is cracked. My rearview mirror doesn't do me much good when it comes to all of these things.
Yeah,
other than to
nobody
understand
knows
that things don't change. You can't predict how they're going to change. And
you can't predict how they're going to change. Right?
And my third point, and the way we're going to close out the day, is that you still need diversification. You still need a portfolio that isn't all in technology, that isn't all in that safe money, because even though some safer money vehicles have had a nice interest credit over the last couple of years, that's not to say that it's going to keep going that way. And even with those better interest credits, you've missed out on some of the growth in the market. That's why I think it's important to work with a fiduciary to understand what your risk tolerance is, and to have somebody that can help you take some of the emotion out of it. I really wish you had a Dragnet soundbite that said just the
I
facts,
don't.
ma'am. You need a just the facts, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll
telling
get
you.
that. I love that one. Just the facts, ma'am. I can't
Yes.
do it, but it's good. Yeah.
Yes. Was that Harry Morgan, or was that his partner that said that?
I
remember.
forget the name of that actor or the character that said that.
Shame on me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is, it's why financial service professionals have a role in your life. And I believe that the human aspect of it is something that people need to rely on. I know that there's a lot of artificial intelligence out there and robo advisors and things that are trying to take our place. And it's like somebody so eloquently stated a few months ago, and I don't know who said it, I can't give them credit, but they said, I don't want AI to do my art for me so I can clean my house. I want AI to clean my house so I can do my art.
That's a great line. I agree with that. Yeah, exactly.
So, that's just, my 2 cents on it. I appreciate the humanity in things. I think that there is definitely an upside to artificial intelligence. I think it can help make our life easier, but we need to not let it take the place of us thinking.
Yeah, thinking and working and creating things
Right.
with our own hands and using the mind.
Right.
Right.
Right. So, all
Yeah.
right, we're ending it on a slightly philosophical note today, I guess.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's end it on this. My favorite line from Christmas Vacation.
Can't believe you're actually standing here in my living room, Eddie. Never thought the day would come.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too.
Well,
How about that one?
Yeah, we watched a couple of Christmas cartoons last night while we were eating dinner, so just getting nostalgic about all of it.
Yeah, I love it. All right, well, Barb, great show today. Reflections
Thanks.
on the financial year and lessons we've learned is so important. And thanks for tuning in and hanging in with us, listeners and viewers.
Should we give them the telephone number
We
one more
should
time
before
real
we go.
quick?
Yep.
All right. You can always reach out to us at our website, anchoryourretirement.com, or you can call us at area code 913-553-6222. Select option 4 for our appointments and scheduling, and Amanda or a member of our team will get back to you and set you up with either myself or one of the other qualified fiduciaries on our team.
All right. Thanks, Barb. Thanks, listeners. And that does it for today's episode of Anchor Your Retirement with our host, Barbara Gullen.
We'll see you soon.